Christ the Redeemer. What a beautiful place you have here with Christ the Redeemer up there. What a beautiful city. I want to say good morning to all of you from Christ Church. I am the third disciple that comes and visits you to talk about those days following the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But I am one of the two disciples that I was on the way to Emaus. Yeah, I'm traveling back in time. Time travel does happen because our God is incredible. Although it's not much needed because the message has kept going that Jesus is alive and have transformed lives throughout generations. But I want to bring you a little bit of my perspective. Me and Cleopas, we're walking, on the road to Emmaus. And we were talking. At that time, we were very sad because we had thought he was going to be the one who would establish the kingdom. And we saw that on Palm Sunday where people were celebrating him and they were singing and dancing, "Oh, Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna." Then he was taken to the cross. We were confused, we were saddened, we were afraid. Not only us, we are not part of the 11 famous disciples, but we were part of the team there, and we did not know what to do with that. So as we were talking about that, he appears to us on the road now, but we did not recognize him. I think we didn't expect that, but he showed up. And as he stood by us, he asked us, "What are you two discussing? What is that you two talking about?" Cleopas, no, it wasn't me, it was Cleopas, said, "Are you the only one in Jerusalem who does not know what has been happening the last 3 days? Where have you been?" And he says to us, "No, tell me, what is all about?" Well, we said, "Well, let me tell you, let us tell you. Jesus, a prophet, who had power on his words and walked among us with deeds. He served people, he blessed people, he healed people, he did amazing things. And we thought he was the Messiah that was to come and deliver us from the Romans. But you know what happened? He was crucified. Friday night was a terrible night. And we're still mourning that our leader is gone. As we kept walking in sadness, he said to us, "Oh, you are foolish people. You did not pay attention. Did you not know that it was prophesied that when he was supposed to come, that he was going to die and rise again? That was part of the plan. Why are you so slow to believe?" He asked us. We were puzzled with that, did not know how to respond to that. But as we were coming closer to the house that we were going to stop, we invited him, say, "Listen, come and eat with us." So he accepted, went into the house with us, and then when he picked up the bread and broke the bread and served us, we realized this is Jesus. This is Jesus. And as we looked at each other and we were about to celebrate, he wasn't there any longer. We did see him again. When he appeared to the 11, to the women, we were there. When he came in, we were gathered in Jerusalem, and do you know what? It was not only Thomas that didn't believe. Nobody believed, even at the time, thought he was a ghost. But beautifully, he said to us, "I'm not, touch me." And then he asked us for food. He said, "Give me some food." And we gave him some fish, and we saw him eating, and we realized he is alive. But I'm here to also point out to you something really interesting about Christ. You see, on the way, when we were talking, he asked us, "What are you talking about?" Now that we think back about that, we say, why would he ask these questions? He knew all about it. He knew the story better than we did. And he wanted us to tell him, what was that? Well, my brothers and sisters and friends who may be watching, the amazing thing about the God revealed in the scriptures, and we find that since Genesis, when God asked, "Hey, Adam, where are you?" We don't think that God wanted Adam to Google him a position, huh? No. It's because God and Jesus continued want us to articulate our faith, to articulate what we have seen, to articulate what it's all about in our own ways, in our own voice. One of the things that is beautiful about this God is that he deals with each one of us. He doesn't see us as a bunch of things or a group of people who everybody must say the same thing. No, our God is a God of creativity, of variety, of relationship that is individual with him. Sometimes you may think that religion is about putting people in boxes, and sometimes Christianity looks like that, but that's not what happened with Jesus. You see, he had different disciples. We had different temperaments. We had different understandings. Some of us were fishermen, others were doctors, others were tax collectors, and Christ embraced us all with our different temperaments, with different ways of doing things. It's not about uniformity, it's about unity in the differences, because the power of love must be bigger than the differences. And today I'm here to tell you, he is alive. I know I did not need to come, because you come to a place like this, you go to a place all over the world, there are people celebrating him. Why? Because they, like us, met the risen Lord. The one who is with us, was with us 2,000 years ago, is with us now, in the power of the Holy Spirit that he brought it down. If you have met him, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not, hear him saying to you right now, "Come and follow me. Come. Let me tell you about the things of God. Come with your doubts. Come with your difficulties. Come and follow me."